Good evening, everybody. And you were like, where's my Mara? She wasn't on all day long. There was no weekly energy forecast. Well, I had some business that I needed to take care of this morning, and so I was totally out of pocket. But I'm back in. I'm here this evening. I've got one more client left. So, in between clients, I wanted to get my weekly energy forecast. Boy, these cards are like all jumbled up. Okay, all right. Okay, that one goes that way. Those go that way, that way, that way. Okay, all right. I think I got it right. So anyway, it is Monday. We're doing an energy forecast. I'm using the shamanic healing cards. You know, those really kind of cool ones by that lady Michelle, whose last name I can't pronounce. But we're using those cards today because they were kind of like screaming at me earlier. And not that I like cards screaming at me, but I could really hear them. So we're using them. And let's see if she's got anything ready. And you're like, how do you know it's a she? How do you know your cards that it's a she? I don't know that it's a she, but they feel kind of girly today. So, let's see. We're just not like getting it here. So, hope everybody had a really good weekend. We are doing the Reiki healings here at the new studio on Sunday mornings. I have been doing them at 8 o'clock. I may do them a little bit later. I'm going to talk to Matthew and Gabby because Matthew comes out and he helps us. He's our rock star. He's the one that's doing the music during those, doing the singing bowls. He's really good. But they help me with it. There's our first one. They help me with that, so I have to be considerate to their time schedules. So here's another one. And she's not real talkative. I was kind of like, they were screaming at me, but they're not like throwing cards all over the place like she normally does. What's the deal? She's spirit with few words, I guess. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Actually, she spit a couple cards out, so it looks like we've got a 5-carder. So make sure you got your beverage or whatever you're using to relax with this afternoon. And let's take a look at what she has to say. I'm going to also, before we get into that, clear off that rush hour traffic stuff. Hope your Monday was like phenomenal. Okay, so here we go. So there's your smudging. And now I had a lot of stuff I had to do this morning, so I didn't get into the office until late this afternoon. So I apologize for a evening or late evening for the week, right? Reading. You're like, hey, Monday's already almost over with. What the hell was I supposed to do? So let's take a look and see what's on the reading. Okay, what are we beginning? What's the energy that's blowing in is joy. So right now what we're looking at is this potential energy of joy. And what we're really looking at is a raise in the vibration. So this week is about raising our vibration with this joy. We're raising the vibration. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these flowers to the side. We've got, I guess they're what? Would you say they're dragonflies? Or I really wouldn't call them a butterfly, but something to that effect. But we've got 2 of these winged critters. One is pointing down and the other one is pointing up. I guess, well, no, maybe they're both pointing up. Yeah, they both are. They're just going in a different direction. So I'm just picking up through here. What I'm looking at is a lot of joy, a lot of balance, a lot of high vibration that's coming through. A lot of high vibration is kind of guiding what we're doing. Now, what I totally love here is normally I would look at this card as being, hey, Christy, I would look at the second card as in what's our obstacle. And, and so we've got sacred space coming up through here. And then we've got the two continuums. So we've got a spiral through here. We've got a spiral through there. And what we're really looking at on here is, because we've got joy coming in and the obstacle being sacred space. And don't shoot the messenger on this one, but you're going to be kind of put out into the front or moved away out of your comfort zone. But don't look at it as something negative. It's actually a really positive thing that happens with this. Sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone in order to grow. The cool thing about this energy here is that we are already engaged in embracing joy and high vibration. So, I love that, shoved, yeah. So when we're stepping out or being shoved out of our comfort zone, the really cool thing is that we're going to enjoy it. It's going to be one of those, and I'm going to call it a cool high, a cool vibe. Kind of like if you've never tried zip lining, and then you go and zip line and you realize what a true buzz that was, or how cool that it felt, and you're like, I don't even know why I was so scared of that. That's what this energy is that we're going to be placed into this opportunity that we're going to step outside of our comfort zone, but we're already in a groovy place. We already have some groovy vibe there. So it's not like that rude, what I'm going to call a rude awakening. It's not that rudeness. It's not abrupt. It's very fun. It's very loving. And, and I'm sitting there thinking, if that is my obstacle, I can't wait to see what my help is, right? Let's take a look at that. Just remember, sacred space, that was our obstacle. Ha ha ha. And that's stepping outside of our comfort zone. All right, so what is our help? Our help is about honoring who we are. It's about feeling comfortable and groovy in your own skin. Let's look at that a little bit bigger. It's about reaching out and being nourished from not only the sun, or the environment. We're just nourished and loved and nurtured all the way around. That is our help. We are honoring who we are and what we can bring to the table or the situation or to whatever that we are working on and that we're preparing to do. So this is a totally groovy, cool, high vibin card. High vibin card. All right. Now, remember at the very beginning, I'm talking about joy and stepping outside of our comfort zone. And then, we're already honoring our energy, so we're in a really good place. This forgiveness is not so much about walking around and saying, I forgive you, or asking people for forgiveness. I'm going to tell you, it's about letting bygones be bygones. Some things are just not worth your energy. They're not worth your vibe. They're not worth your time. And you've been holding on to them. I've been holding on to them. Everybody's been holding on to them because we keep hoping that we're going to reach this perfect moment that we can rectify that situation or that event or those people or whatever. It's not about that. It's about cutting those ties, but doing it with love and going, look, some stuff just really isn't worth my time or energy, and I'm going to honor my time and energy by just forgiving it and letting it move on. And let's look at that again so that we can get this reinforced. This card here is talking to us about letting bygones be bygones and move on our path, because we've got groovy energy and groovy vibe coming through us, for us, to us. But cut the ties to the, and I'm going to use this word, folks, cut the ties to the bullshit, the things that really don't matter. I love that. Let it go, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. It's no longer yours. You don't have to own it. Let it go. Don't hold that vibe. And then what happens in the end? What happens in the end of all of this? It's a new day. all of those blankety blank goals, all of that stuff that you've been working on to be the best you, all the classes that you take, all the meditations that you do, that diet that you've been working on, all of this stuff starts to flow through, and you really see those beautiful effects in it. It's kind of like my dad said to me one time. My mother had been very ill, and my dad was my mom's caretaker during the illness, and my mother passed away. And then once my mom died, my dad was able to kind of focus on himself. And he said to me one day, he said, "Baby, you never know how sick you've been until you start feeling good." Because we become so used to feeling that way, that feeling good is kind of like, a dream, or not even maybe a dream, but it's like this great idea. I have an idea that I'm going to feel really good and healthy. And you think about it and you think about it and you think about it, but it really doesn't happen because we're expecting it to happen right then and there. And then after several months, you sit back and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize how sick I was. I didn't realize how depressed I was. I didn't realize how out of whack or out of alignment I was until I started feeling good. And that's what this is about. This is like this beautiful awakening this week. And we're going to look at this card again. It's this beautiful awakening this week that allows you to realize how cool it is when you start feeling good. And that's what this reading is about. That's what this energy is. It's about embracing the joy, honoring yourself, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and grabbing for those stars and making some magic out of that. And this is your opportunity and a perfect week for that. So peace, love, and harmony. I hope to hear from you very soon. It's after the equinox, so it's time for you to come in and get your quarterly reading. So reach out to me or go online and schedule, and I hope to see you very soon.